So I'm not gonna lie, I shed some tears today. Not because I thought Donald Trump's speech was super great, or because I'm really sad to see Obama leave. Really has nothing to do with that. Just seeing those the presidents of the last few terms all up together in the same spot. Like that's my whole life right there, given my age. So it's like super nostalgic and just like this kind of event when you have like it's a big event not just for America but for the world really. And whenever I have events like I'm either watching or going to like that, um, I don't know, there's something in me that gets really like moved and kind of emotional about it. Kind of like opening ceremonies for Olympics or like the Super Bowl. I don't know. There's just something like really great about it. I get pumped, and I really get into it. So yeah, I shed some real man tears just seeing all the former presidents rolling in, and um, man, it's just something just to see history like that. It's just so cool. But I don't think any of you guys were really here to uh, watch my nostalgia. Let's talk about the inauguration. So today is January 20th, 2017. Donald Trump has been inaugurated as the President of the United States. Um, just a few comments, some thoughts I have from the inauguration itself. As far as the ceremonial part, nothing special. Certainly not as rambunctious or as big a crowd as Obama's first inauguration. Much smaller crowd than that actually there. Um, the performances are fine. The singing and the musical direction was fine. Again, nothing spectacular, nothing bad, but nothing new. It was fine. Um, there were some interesting moments in Mr. Trump's speech after he was formally inaugurated as president. Really, the first two-thirds of his speech, it felt like he was still on the campaign trail, like he was still trying to prove to people that he would be the better candidate or this is what we need to do. And I don't really know if I don't know what the purpose behind that was. I mean, he's already won the presidency. You don't need to, force people to think the way you do or try to convince people in certain ways. It just didn't seem like it was something that was necessary. Painted a really dark picture about how the last, couple decades have been, which is, he made it sound all bad. I don't think it's been all bad. Not been great all the time, but not all bad. He seemed to repeat himself a lot for again, the first two-thirds. Really, the last third was pretty good. I think that he's just trying to relay that we all kind of go through the same things as Americans. We all have similar challenges. We all have similar aspirations. So, yeah, we need to work together. And that's really the message that he really needed to have. But I think he should have had more of that and less of, oh, everything's terrible. Everybody's been cheating the American people. Washington only serves itself, which, not to say that's incorrect, but it wasn't the right speech at the right time. Those first two-thirds of the speech, not the right time for that, because he's already president. That's not the time for that kind of a speech. But Donald does what he wants, I guess. And that's what a lot of people like about him, is that he's not going to conform to the traditional modes of how things are done. And that's fine, but let's make sure they're irrational. They're not irrational. Let's make sure they make sense. And that's really, it's really all I've got to say about that. I didn't get a lot of direction about where he wanted to take the country in his speech. There were some vague mentions of things that we've never heard him talk about really before. It was not a very charismatic speech. The language used was fairly simple. Typically, you see many presidents have very poetic speech, very eloquent words. That was not this speech. He's not about eloquency. That's not his style. And again, that's fine. That really doesn't matter. And in the long run, and I think we all need to remember this, the speech itself really doesn't matter. The words that he says today don't reflect what he does tomorrow necessarily. And that goes for any politician any time in history. So if you didn't like what you heard from Donald Trump, President Trump, at least give him a fair shot. It wasn't my first choice as president. Not many people's first choice as president. He comes in with extremely low approval ratings for an incoming president, about 40%, low 40s is what I've been seeing lately, which is much, much lower than typical. So he comes in with low approval ratings, doesn't really give a lot of direction on where he's going to go. There's a lot of controversy in some of his cabinet picks. I think some of them are okay. Some of them I'm kind of like, I don't know about that. But that's the nature of when we hand power from one party to another. In any case, there's going to be a lot of apprehension. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty. What's going to happen, because we don't know this guy. I mean, even when Obama was elected president, there was a little bit of apprehension as where is he going to go with the country. There's always a little bit of an amount of unknown. So we're going to have to just roll with that as Americans, and we're going to see where this takes us. Again, through the whole campaign trail, even up till now, I really don't know what we're going to get. I'm not saying the world is ending like a lot of people are like, oh, Trump is president, everything is wrong, everything is terrible. No, that's one guy is not going to make every single day of what you do the worst. I mean, democracy takes more than one person to make changes like that. So we'll see what happens. Very Republican heavy, of course, with Congress, and we'll see where it goes. I think Congress will be able to kind of keep Trump in line, hopefully, because he's going to need them to pass a lot of legislation that he wants. And I think Mike Pence is a reasonable and rational person. He's kind of more establishment-ish. He's served as governor of Indiana, and he has a track record as a politician. So I think Donald Trump might look to him for some, if not general advice, at least political advice, I would hope. Just kind of help him find his way around the ring. And we'll see. It will be interesting. So not everything is wrong. Not everything is perfect. It's just going to be, just like any other day as we go along.